rare rupture is unfolding in the so-called special relationship. The government of the United Kingdom, led by Prime Minister Keir Starmer, has refused to grant the United States permission to use two critical British-controlled military bases for potential airstrikes against Iran. Those bases, Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean and RAF Fairford, have long served as strategic launch pads for American long-range bombers. But as of February 20, 2026, London has said no. The decision comes amid escalating tensions between Washington and Tehran. U.S. President Donald Trump has issued an ultimatum to Iran over its nuclear program, warning that if no deal is reached within 10 to 15 days, military action could follow. Behind the scenes, the Pentagon has reportedly been preparing for possible surgical strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. Two carrier strike groups, the USS Abraham Lincoln and the USS Gerald R. Ford, have been positioned in the region. But for a sustained air campaign, land-based heavy bombers matter. Diego Garcia offers long runways, refueling infrastructure, and a strategic midpoint between Europe and Asia. RAF Fairford hosts US B-1, B-2, and B-52 bombers in Europe, aircraft designed for deep strike missions. Under long-standing agreements, however, U.S. operations launched from UK territory against third countries require British consent, and Starmer has withheld it. British officials argue that authorizing preemptive strikes could expose the UK to accusations of complicity in an internationally wrongful act. Their position: diplomacy must be exhausted first. Iran must never acquire a nuclear weapon, but military action without clear legal grounds, they suggest, is a red line. The dispute is further entangled with the controversial Chagos Islands deal. London plans to transfer sovereignty of the islands to Mauritius while securing a 99-year lease on Diego Garcia at an estimated cost of £35 billion. Initially, Trump backed the arrangement, but after the UK refusal, he publicly withdrew support, calling the deal a big mistake and explicitly linking it to the potential need to use Diego Garcia and RAF Fairford in any confrontation with Iran. What was once a technical basing issue has now become political leverage. If the U.S. proceeds without access to these facilities, its operational flexibility shrinks. Carrier-based aircraft have limits in range and payload compared to heavy bombers. Alternatives in the Gulf or Europe could be used, but at higher logistical cost and potentially greater diplomatic friction. Meanwhile, Iran has warned of uncontrollable consequences if strikes occur, raising fears of retaliation through missile attacks, drone swarms, or proxy forces across the region. For the UK, the stakes are equally high. Support Washington too quickly, and London risks legal and political fallout at home and abroad. Refuse, and the transatlantic alliance strains under the weight of public disagreement. This moment underscores a deeper shift. The UK-US alliance has weathered wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, intelligence cooperation, and decades of joint military planning. But this dispute, public, strategic, and tied to nuclear brinkmanship, signals a more transactional and volatile phase. The next 10 days could determine whether diplomacy prevails or whether the Middle East edges towards another confrontation. At the heart of it lies a fundamental question. Is this a temporary disagreement between alliance or the beginning of a more profound recalibration of Western power and partnership?
Subscribe to Oneindia and never miss an update. Download the Oneindia app